So it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and dale to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
Hey folks, welcome to Mab Labs. It's our once a month, the first Thursday of the month adventure where we talk about making things, breaking things, figuring things out. What the hell am I doing here? And trying to level up. Kind of like our friend Louie, but this time with special guest David. Hi. You know her as Pandemonium and from some of our live stream adventures, but for those of you who may not be in the know, this Amy here is an expert maker herself. I don't know if you've heard of the illustrious 3D2U, and you definitely have if you've watched our show, because they are also one of our sponsors. And we are delighted to have you join us this evening. I understand that you are currently in your own chaos realm of packing. What do you got going on?
So we have the Sparta Renaissance Fair coming up this weekend. We're getting ready tomorrow to go put up the whole 20 by 20 tent. I think we're doing there, right? 20 by 20. It's going to be a big one. We've got all of our little goodies. We've been putting together like our monster books that open up and can hold things. And they're just cuties. But yeah, my whole day today has been kind of gluing stuff together and just getting things ready. So yeah, it's a lot of work. They say when you do something you love, you don't work a day in your life. That's a lie. You work 24/7, but you enjoy it. So that's the important part.
Don't ruin the surprise, Chan, because we're definitely nowhere near each other. Hey, Evelyn Evermore. Hey, Sally. Hello, Victoria London Vogue, and Nina Lee. So yeah, we are all super crafty bitches in this house right now, and I know it, and I'm down for that. So yay, you're gluing. You're in Glutopia.
Yes.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Of boxes. You can see some of my stack of boxes that I still need to glue. So
how much stock do you have that you make? Like
enough to fill a 20 by 20 tent.
That is a lot.
I think we probably make maybe $300 to $400 of wood products a week, and then probably the same in 3D printed products. Like we just started making these cool mimic dice mugs.
I saw that. Those are fantastic. Is that the one where you put the dye in the handle?
Dye goes in there, drink goes in there. These are designed by Little Tup, not myself. I'm trying to make some mugs soon, but we need to get through the fair season so I have time to focus on actually making things.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm also in Little Maker Hell. So Victoria London Fogg's asking what's on the maker menu today. Ooh. So right now, today's show, we are focusing on preparing to sell our stuff. Right? Everybody's making stuff and we're always in the studio. And I personally, my story is I love to make things. And I make all of the merch except for the dice for Nat 21 Adventures. All of the puzzles, the t-shirts and the artwork and, expanding on that. But I'm also making stuff for Mab's Mobile Mercantile, which is where I set up this interface. It's a website because I keep making things and I'm like, I can't keep holding on to this. So I sell them there. And most everything on that site is made to order. There are a few limited runs where I only had a certain limited number of items to create. But now, this month in September, I will be doing my first in-person sales.
That's so exciting!
Oh my God! Oh my God. So this is how I feel.
Yeah. No, that's even after your first. When you get to your 500th, you're still kind of like
Yeah. And so I wanted to ask you, a veteran vendor, questions and open it up to the audience because this is where I'm trying to come up with ideas, and you guys are brilliant, and you're brilliant, and everyone's brilliant, and gosh, oh, great, and oh, it's just so great to be here. Yes. So yay! And so while we're talking about how we're going to market, and not necessarily market, but present and set up for sale, it looks like Evelyn Moore is doing some crafty stuff. Had a coworker make a plexiglass pattern of a drink cozy. That is brilliant.
Cool.
Yes, I love plexiglass patterns. Any kind of pattern. I know. I was fifth above for a moment there. Amy, we're going to get you on the in-between sometime in the next half a year.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
But I would love to have you. So, yeah. Plexiglass patterns, brilliant. And you're cutting the cozy material out of like the neoprene because are you going to sew it, hand sew it, or run it through a machine? I have looked at neoprene for a little bit. Oh, no shit. You're going to make them out of leather. That's even better.
Yeah,
That's
that'll be
way classier. Yeah. Not like, oh, and a leather stamp, bam. Big brain. Loving it. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that I will be selling, and you can give me your thoughts on them. So first of all, and I know you've heard me talk about the crankies. So these are adorable little scrolling storytelling things that I have built and designed after many, I will show you this box, many trial and error prototypes. Finally got the design. Now I can start mass producing it, and I have started mass producing it. And so I package them up like, they're like this, and a little rubber band kind of holds all the pieces and parts together.
Nice.
So this is what the thing is, and it comes with the wooden box, a rubber band. It also normally has a back, so you can see here the back. The back is removable, so you can, and this part here is like a open slot, so you can swap out the scrolls. And these are all different iterations of the designs that I have come up with. And then let's see which way's up. Which way is up? This way's up. So you can. Whoops! The front came off. I didn't glue it. So
you're not in glue hell like I am. Come on,
no, I am not. So
that is really cute, though. Oh my gosh!
Right?
No, I love that. Did you cut the pieces out with the laser engraver, or?
Hell yeah, I cut it out with the laser.
Nice.
It's a laser cut, so I can get 4 pieces out of 4 sets out of a piece of 12 by 12 wood.
Nice.
So, and I still haven't figured out how to price it. Like, I know how much my materials cost, and I'm on this side, the beginning side of the labor of well, I have this mound of prototypes that I cannot possibly expect people to have paid for.
Fair.
But that burned through, maybe about $100 worth of wood.
No, I know that pain very well. What we usually do for pricing is we take, of course, the cost of materials, which you already know at this point, and we do a ×4. And if that pricing seems like it is worth it to keep making it, then you use that pricing. If that pricing seems way too low, like it's not worth it to do it for that price, you need to evaluate, will someone buy it for a higher price, or is it not worth making? And we've actually had a few products where we loved it, but it wasn't worth making for the price because people wouldn't buy it at the price that we needed to sell it at in order to actually make any profit for our business.
So cost of materials ×4?
Yep, ×4.
And that's per unit?
Per unit. So say it took you $1 to make a box, then you would times that by 4 and have it $4. Depending on, sometimes like if you do a little bit of extra work to make it nice, like with the painting and everything, you can add a couple of dollars to that.
Exactly. So I have plain, like raw wood, right? And then I did this thing because I liked the way it looked, is I glued paper to the wood, and then I cut it.
Okay.
And then, so that's another, the paper cost is negligible. It's a sheet of paper.
But the work that went into gluing it all on and making sure that it's flat. Yeah, normally, like, if I were to take one of these guys, these sell at $30 because it takes 1 board of wood to make it. And our wood cost is like $5-ish plus shipping. But then the time it takes to glue it together, we added that little bit extra. So 5 × 4 is 20. Then we added $10 for the time it takes to glue it all together. If I were to stain it or paint it or anything, it would start going up in price from there, depending on how long and how much material I needed to make it more fancy and more unique.
Right. And this is a great point too, is talking about looking at the pricing of things online and finding out other people who make the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a bit of a disadvantage. Not a lot of people are making crankies.
Yes. You also have to be careful because a lot of people will put them on, say, Etsy for way too cheap. I've seen people put this on Etsy for $5, and I'm like, that is the cost of the wood for me. I cannot afford to ever sell it like that. And people will realize, like, as some people will, how do I word this? People will get into the business and start doing it for as cheap as possible to try and undercut people, but then they usually don't last as a business because they're not making money. They can't afford to continue making products. It starts costing them money. So I'm not afraid of when people try to undercut because I know that they're not going to last as long as somebody who charges appropriately.
That's absolutely fair. And the other thing is like, charge what you want to charge.
Mm-hmm.
And if they buy it, they buy it. And if they don't, they don't.
Yep. And another rule of thumb is you can always lower the price easier than you can raise a price. So if you think that your work is worth $50, but no one's buying it for $50, you could say, okay, well, that was the ×4 price, but let's lower it down to now $25. We'll do like a 50% off. That's the ×2. So you're still making something back from it. And see if it sells then. And if it's worth it to make it at that price, that is up to you to continue. If it's not worth it, you sell out of that stock and you never make it again.
Okay. Yeah. So this is another insight from Evelyn Evermore. She hates that the leather purse that she made, people ask how much she would charge. And it's like $275 because it took a month. Absolutely, yeah. I understand.
That's actually on the inexpensive side. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. And the leather sewing machine is $1,275. Exactly. So my laser machine, which was not a material cost, but a tool cost, and yes, I'm using it multiple times to make multiple things, that was easily over $2,000.
Oh, ours was $4,900. So yeah,
exactly.
And one of ours just went down, so we're looking at maintenance fees of about $1,200 to get a refurb to fix it.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's pricey when they go down, and you also have to think about like your electricity costs, energy costs that's being used. People don't factor that in, but you still got to pay that bill at the end of the month. So. Yeah.
We get you, Evelyn. See, this is what I'm saying. It's like, here we got all the crafty bitches. We are all here, and we all, like, I know Nina she's starting to do a little bit more work with Nat 21 and doing some designing, and she started making some really awesome prizes for Patreons. So if you want to do subscribe to our Patreon, chances are you there you go. I hope I did that right. All the crafty benches. I did it right. Oh, Victoria Lenifog, we have talked about this multiple times. You are, in fact, a very crafty bench. I assure you. I have seen the craft of writing, and yeah. This entity can write some steam.
Love it.
So pricing is one aspect. And again, it's a thing I see on every forum out there. People going, I don't know how much the price thing. I don't know. And every time, and there's so many different conversations. And one woman was like, I have written a spreadsheet, and you can buy this spreadsheet on how to price your materials or your items for, what was the spreadsheet cost? I think it was like $50 to get access to a Google worksheet. I was like, bravo.
Yeah. If somebody bought it and it helped them, cool. Really, the ×4 method and then adjusting from there has been tried and true for so many people.
That has just given me some insight to think about right now, because I was going to say $20 for these, because I think in terms of 10, 25, 5, 10, 20.
Rounding it, like if your ×4 ends up being like $7, round it up to 10. Because
I think I'm going to go down to $10 for one of these, for the undecorated ones.
And it's good to show different things. Like we have with our mimics, we have plain mimics, mohawk mimics, clear mimics, And you see that they have, like, the mohawks have color, the clear are made out of acrylic with a little bit of wood. And these differences have different prices. They start 30, 40, 50. But seeing them next to each other, someone will look at the $30 one and be like, that's cool. But they'll look at the $50 one and be like, you know what? I see why that's 50 now. And they'll buy the more expensive one.
Okay.
Yep. But by itself, they might look at it and go, ooh, 50, ew. But seeing them next to each other, they're like, okay, I get it. I get why that's more expensive.
That is, so presentation. This is where I'm going next, is presentation. So it's not just the product.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here we go. Why me now? Like, that is, who's going to look at this and want to buy it? Okay, well, then I'll have one set up for people to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they go, I would like to buy one of those, like, do I have to put it? And I've been racking my brain. This is really where my head has been recently. Like, when I made these coasters, the Evil Not Evil coasters, which I have 3 left, I made this little thing. They came here like this, right? A set of 4. Yeah. I cut out this cute little, it's out of cardstock, but a pretty decent weight cardstock.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it latches itself closed. If I'm not a bumbling idiot, and it latches itself closed.
Oh, I love that.
And I'll put a little sticker on the back to kind of seal it up.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I don't have a sticker on every one of them is because sometimes I sell these as Mab and sometimes I sell these as Nat 21. So whatever show I'm at, I'll put like a sticker on one of them and have it on the table and then the sample set out. So yes, I'm absolutely going to make a try me sign. I've got a couple of set up ones. So how do I, and then the other idea, I was like, well, do I just, forgive me, I'm kind of getting over a cold earlier this week. Yeah. Do I just tie like a little ribbon around it and make it look cute with a ribbon? Do I stick it in a box that I make, and that's another level? And like, why do I put a matchbox in a box? It seems
just remember
ridiculous.
The more packing material you use, that's more money going into that product, which either can make that product too expensive or, you know, it's a big balance of like, how much do I put into this? I think a little bow could be cute. I mean, getting ribbon and stuff from thrift stores is pretty cheap and it can look really cute.
I got so much ribbon. I've even got like the, you know, the baker's twine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So right now it's the rubber band. It's holding all the little pieces together, right? Mm-hmm. And I use the rubber band when I'm gluing. I say as part of the instructions, like put the rubber band that was wrapped around everything around there.
Oh yeah.
and then that holds it together while the glue dries.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have ones like this. It's an example of how I decorated a plain one. And I don't have ones like this for sale because it takes a level of effort that I'm not available mentally to do right now. I want to learn how to walk before I start dancing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, like I said, with our mimics, we have some very plain ones and ones that are decorated, and it kind of goes up tiers. It did take us a while to eventually get to there, but once you do, you'll see that having a few that are decorated put together for sale will be just as beneficial as having the other ones, because then people can see it, and if they go, oh, I really like that one that's on the table, I know it's 3 times as expensive as the one I have to put together myself, but I will pay that convenience because I really like that one.
So Nina's saying check out NashvilleWraps.com because they ship, and while some of their things are priced a little high, a lot of their packing materials are priced really well.
That's really good to know.
So I looked at Temu, and because I ran out of bubble mailers for Nat 21, I had to get more, and I wasn't looking. I was like, oh, there's more colors. Let me get a couple of different colors. And then, you know, for me, for Nat 21, it's hard to see. It's like a light green, which is
like a minty color.
It's actually more of a kind of a sea foam.
Ooh.
Don't ask. very particular about my little minty green.
It's all right. Sometimes the computer screen has a different color setting, so it'll look different to me than it does to you in person.
And then, so that was for, so I accidentally ordered 300.
Oh.
So I have many of these. And these are great for, I bought these because like, I can ship the kumihimos in them, which are these awesome little cord weaving.
Oh,
Have you
those
seen
are cute. No, I haven't. Those are really cute.
Oh my god. Yeah, I bought them because they fit so perfectly in there.
They do. Oh my gosh.
So the kumihimos come with the directions on how to do them.
Ooh, there you go.
7-strand cord weave, the directions. And more. So this is another product that I sell that I have no idea how to display for sale. Because when people buy them, they come with the piece of paper, they come with some sample yarn, and I don't have any already cut, but like, you know, the 7 strands. Nothing as complicated as this because I'm doing a really big, long, fancy weave.
Oh,
but
man.
Set up with the yarn on there, and it'll be, you know, about a foot, enough to do like a friendship bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
So I am trying. I'm trying to figure out how to display this for sale. I mean, there's going to be the try me one.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I, like, do I hang them up on like a post?
That's a great question.
I know I'm like, hey, do I hang them up like this? Do I have them in a fan like this? Do I have one in a box like the coaster kit?
So things that you need to think about are with your display. You said something earlier about having like one table that you're working with. Are you doing any elevation to your table? Do you have anything that you're working with that you do hang things from that'll be next to your table? Table space is
make anything I want, and I'm going
okay.
to for this event.
One thing that we've come across with a lot of our events is table space becomes a rare commodity the more things that you have on it. So figuring out how to place things so that you are utilizing it to your fullest advantage is the most challenging and time-consuming thing that you will end up kind of doing every time you set up. Yeah, so it's going to take some experimentation. The first 2 times you do it, you're going to be like, this is not working, or this is working, and you'll kind of start learning from there every single time you do it. Any advice that can be given, it's going to be a thing where you're going to have to try it and see if it actually works, what draws the eye to it. Something like this, you said you're going to have the try me where it has something hanging from it. That will definitely help draw the eye to it. I hope, I think. Without seeing it in person, it's hard to say, but if it is at eye level somehow, then people will generally be able to look at it. On the table, fanned out could be interesting, but again, if you take too much space up, you're losing space from other things. So things to think about.
So my table at this time is going to have the kumihimo, the crankies, my uke love pins, which I have a few left. Let's see here. This one's all kind of battered, but
oh, they're so cute.
Yeah. I have some buttons. I have some stickers. I didn't want to get too bogged down with too many items. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, I have mugs and I have coasters that are going to be sideshow themed. So I have my freak button, the bullet sideshow button thing. And I think what I'm going to do, Nina, is make a mug box with the mugs on display in those. And I'll get that. I already have that template in my head. The coasters, I picked these bad boys up from the dollar store because they were at the dollar store. And, you know, I don't know.
No, that does look pretty cute. It looks pretty cute. I like that. I really like that.
For like the different coaster sets.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was wondering, in your opinion, I know I love a good dollar store find. I hit the dollar store periodically and I look at everything and I go, what can I make out of this? Because I can do vinyl cutting. I've got like the Cricut and I can do sublimation. So I'll sometimes get cheap pillowcases so I can sublimate. I have a body pillow that I can sublimate a loon onto.
Nice.
So if anyone wants, and I only have one of these, and I have conceptualized how I was going to do it, but if anyone wants to commission me to make a loon body pillow, yeah, I have a box that I can make a little shelf. Definitely. Nice. All right, so I'm reading the comments here, kind of keeping up.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, dollar store, great for finding things.
Oh yeah, dollar store. And if you have one of those Goodwills where they have like the bins that you go and sort through, you can find so many things that are useful in there. If you do any sort of fabric arts, old knitted sweaters in thrift stores, you could just take them apart and then suddenly you've got a bunch of yarn.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. Need
Farmers
leather.
markets. Oh.
Leather from purses from old thrift stores. You can use those to make leather items. Like, I'm a big thrifty just to find things that I can make new and fun things with.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to do a whole upcycle show. You're coming back. And Evelyn's like, farmers markets. I absolutely agree. And then Lemon, why do you even have to ask when you know the answer is? And I think if anyone's going to win the loon body pillow, it's going to be Victoria London Fog. I just need to make it happen. Because the problem is it's not one piece of paper. I have to like print it out. I've already done a test, but not using the sublimation ink. I did the test and I taped everything together and I was like, yeah, bud, fits. So yeah. But that was a while ago. It was like a labor of love project because it was very labor intensive. And I would have to like completely clean my craft room to make it happen because it is a big project. As you know, you need a good working space for larger projects.
Yeah, what is working space? Who has that?
Nice, said the little Mab.
Oh, if every surface isn't covered in some sort of craft thing already, what are you even doing?
Also, yes, it is. We can talk about this. Yeah, it works really easy. So, table space, probably whatever size table I bring. Oh yeah, and Reverend Tommy was telling me about the keychains a little bit because it's all sublimation, which is brilliant. Sublimation is the bomb.
It's super cool. In fact, my mother-in-law, because she fixed her sublimation printer and she's been obsessed with sublimating things, so she has been making us some little signs that we can sell. She's so excited.
Nice.
Camera. There it is.
So that's what I'm doing right now. I will do the artwork. My sublimation printer is working.
Mm-hmm.
It can do a little bit bigger than it can do, like 11 by 17. I think it's the biggest.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah,
this
those
is
are
a map
awesome.
of art puzzle. I also have the Busy Town puzzle artwork that we commissioned. And Victoria Lynn Fogg, I just want to touch base on this real quick because I know we're all ADD and all over the map. I can't make that. I have the artwork. I have made a flat packs, but I need to get consent to make a body pillow that will go to somebody. So I will have to send him a message and get consent.
Consent
and
is
maybe we'll auction it off. Huh? Oh yes, that would be nice. So, and that is just a sample of some of the things that I have for sale. And I know, what do you think about having too many different types of products?
So that is, it really depends. If you're able to kind of space it in a way where each section can draw the eye to it, then it can be okay. But if it gets to a point where things start getting lost in each other, then you'll notice that people aren't going to see things. Even if it's right in front of their face, they won't see it. It's interesting how people's minds work. And a lot of selling when you're doing it in person is psychology. And I am not a psych major at all, but there are things that I've learned over the past 3 years where if something is too flat on the table and there's something different behind it, they'll see the thing behind it and not see the thing right in front of them. So you're going to want to put like with like and kind of make it go around in a theme across your table, if that's possible at all, just to get people to draw their eye through it. So like when we do our displays, we like to put the mimics kind of all together, but we'll do one shelf of plain, one shelf of mohawk, one shelf of clear, and have it tier up like that. So the more expensive's on the top, least expensive's on the bottom. And people will generally draw their eyes to the middle and then look top and bottom after that, which is just an interesting thing we've noticed. We've also noticed that color helps to pop non-colored items. So if we do something that's colored, then something that's non-colored, then something that's colored, it'll help break it up a little bit to make people be able to actually see each individual item.
Interesting. I had not considered the color balance because I love color.
We do too, but some of our plain wood stuff, if we have too much of it together, people get lost in the beige and don't see it. So we'll try to put some colored stuff in between the wood stuff so that way they kind of break it up a little bit.
You don't sell anything flat pack, do you?
No, we normally put everything together so it's ready to go and ready to be used when they have it. We've thought about doing like, when you say flat pack, you mean like kits, like how your scrolls are going to be kits? We've thought about doing it. We haven't figured out a great way to really do it yet. But for the most part, we just put everything together at this time.
Woof.
Yeah.
Labor of freaking love. I don't even want to put together the crankies, and it's just.
Let me see if this is the box. Yeah. So that little book that I showed you, all these pieces in here.
How do you keep that straight? I'm not even kidding. That is.
So
how do you keep it
straight? 24/7. That's.
Do you have a box for each single unit, and then when you're done, you cycle the boxes through again?
So this box has one medium magic book in it. This box has one travel tower in it. So it's labeled travel tower, and then all the pieces are put inside, and then we glue it all together. And then when it's done, it goes on the shelf of, hey, this is what we need to make more of because this is an empty box.
Oh, look at that brilliance.
Yep.
You guys are so fantastic. I love following you on the Facebook. 3D, do you? I check out your your little tours. I say your little tours. It sounds condescending. What I mean to say is I delightfully watch your tours that you do in the morning of your setup. And I'm like watching it and I'm like, okay.
And you've probably noticed the setup change every single video because, like I said, every time you go to a market, you're going to go, well, that didn't work last time. So let me try this and see what works this time.
So interestingly enough, I have some experience doing load in for events. So I used to run a mobile midway and we had the different areas in it. We had a 20 by 20 tent or no tent if it was an indoor event. And each area of the 20 by 20 tent was kind of dedicated to a certain activity. So it is a midway. So over here we had the museum, which was a little shelf of oddities with a little curtain that we would open and let people look at it. And we would do tours of the museum, but only during certain times. And that time would be, what time is it? Like 5 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. And then we had the games, the circus punk game where you would knock goblin punks down. We called it the goblin knockdown.
That's
awesome. I commissioned an artist to make cartoons of Azog, who was my partner's goblin, myself as Wedgie, and then a generic third goblin. So we have these 3 different goblin punks that people would throw beanbags in, and it was $1 to play. And I had a box of prizes, which were things like kazoos, stickers, little toy bugs, little bug toys like the jumping frogs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
None of those things cost me $1. None of them cost me $1. And so the deal was that I would have my staff do, especially for the younger kids, is you play until you get a prize.
Yeah.
Right. And then it would be like, okay, let's see, make a muscle. Oh, yeah, but you better stand back now. And then we would have them throw it. And if they threw all their bags and didn't hit it, I go, okay, you get the bonus bag. They would take the bonus bag, and the goblin standing next to the thing would go, pack, and knock it down. And I go, whoa, did you see that? It's so fast. Anyways, and they would get to pick a little plastic toy. And the kids would love it. And so that was the museum, the game. And then we had the gift shop, which was kind of near the front of the tent.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like my stickers, my buttons, nothing too crazy, right? It was all just like kind of basically giveaway swag that you use for marketing. But, we would see if people would give us money for it. And then the 4th station was the complimentary goblin makeover, and it was free. And we would say complimentary goblin makeover, and it was just a pot of green paint and a paintbrush.
Yes.
And that was the thing that everybody kept coming in. It was like to draw you in. Mm-hmm. And then while you're in there, you see, oh yes, she is one of our goblins. She is one of my goblins. And yes, the peep show. So one year, we got all of these super stale peeps from Easter, but it was like literally a year later. Yes, and there's my other goblin. Oh my god, I love that you guys are here. Someone, and I can't remember who it was, and I want to say it was Magnus, aka Azog, who put a peep on a chopstick in a box so it looked like the peep was pole dancing, and put a couple of other peeps there just like sitting off to the side, cut a little window in a shoebox, a literal shoebox, cut a window in it, spray painted it black, and then put like little Duvetine curtains on the outside, and was like,
"It's beautiful.
You want to see the peep show? Oh yeah,
that's beautiful."
But for like grown-ups or whatever, and then people were putting tips in there. Yeah, it was Magnus.
That's beautiful. So beautiful. I mean, I feel like this is an entire business opportunity that we're all missing out on right now. Like,
so this is the thing. Here's why I'm telling you all this. So each section had its own pack-up.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, so the Goblin Embassy was the Goblin version of the Mobile Midway. So all of these things in the Goblin Embassy also could be done as Midway things. So Goblin Knockdown game's a Midway game. Oh my God, Victoria Lunenbach, you missed the whole Goblin Embassy. So everything was a unit packed up. And yeah, like we had road cases essentially for each component. Mm-hmm. And we would load in those different components to the different size shows. So like at Maryland Fairy Festival, we had a lot of room because we brought our own tents. Mm-hmm. And then and the Baltimore Fairy Festival, we had a table, right? So we kind of did the complimentary goblin makeover in the gift shop. And so like I'm kind of used to doing load-ins for shows. Mm-hmm. And I'm really good at compartmentalizing. This is where I was going with this really ridiculously long story. I'm good at compartmentalizing. And so for me in my head right now, and I'm just going to show you this messy, messy, messy box. This is the entirety of my merch minus the mugs.
Okay.
Right? So everything's packed up in here minus the head form. So it's got my, ledger. It's got the papers. It's got the stickers. It's got these all flat packed. It's got the kumihimos. It's got these little things, which are the offcuts
Okay.
that I use to make pricing signs.
Yeah. We have a bunch of spare wood that we've just burned the prices into because it's easy and people go, oh my God, this is so cool. And we're like, yeah, that was trash wood we were going to throw out. So.
Exactly. So right now, this is the one pack up. Doesn't have the mugs, or it only has some coasters in it. That doesn't include the display. That doesn't include the table. That doesn't include the signage. So I am trying to wrap my brain around. Oh, and there's more things that I am already thinking of making.
Love that.
So these little guys.
Oh. Little like eyeball triangle guys. I like that.
Just occult symbols on a
little metal tag type dude.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Can't
go wrong with occult symbols.
Exactly. Well, I like them. And then where's the other thing? Bill Cipher coded.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's engraved. I did this last month on the Creating with the Crew, not Creating with the Crew, Mab Labs. I had Louis level
That's
up
really
Louis,
cool.
and we were discussing etching on tile. So it's hard to see it, but this is actually textural.
Yeah.
It's a smooth texture.
That's cool.
So, I can like put it on a thing. I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I'm like, am I getting too crazy? Am I spinning out? I'm spinning out, aren't I?
Listen. If you watch the videos, you see all of the random stuff that we end up putting up, and sometimes it lasts, sometimes it doesn't. But you always have to try new things, and you have to do what's fun and what's interesting to you, because if you're enjoying it, the people buying from you will also enjoy it. You have to love what you are selling for it to sell, or it will not go anywhere. I wouldn't say that you're spiraling. I wouldn't say that you're going too crazy. You're having fun. And that's the most important thing about this. If you're not having fun, stop doing it.
Enabler. I love a good enabler. You can quote me on that one.
No, we're nothing if not enablers in this household. It's what we do.
So how many different kinds of products do you have? You have you have 3D printed and you have laser cut.
We've got 3D printed, we've got laser cut, we've got the paintings that I do, we've got my mother-in-law's been helping with the sublimated signs now, and a couple of flags that she decided to make. Other things we do also resale, like some dice. We resell some dice, a couple other, what else do we have there? Bracelets. We resell bracelets from another small business who makes bracelets that are Zodiac themed. We're like, it's not D&D themed at all, but they sell well. So they have their own little table with other jewelry items. So we've kind of got like a jewelry table, the dice table, the mimic table, the monster book table. Then we've got the mug table. We've got the journal, the wooden journal table. We've got the dragons table for all the dragon designs that I made.
They're so cute.
Thank you. The wooden D20 table, the lawn nopes table, which is something that we found that was really cute, that were like little knights that were like lawn gnomes, but they were little knight versions of them. So we call them the lawn nopes, because they protect your yard and they keep everybody off your lawn.
That's adorable. And they're made of cement?
They're made of plaster, I think. But yeah, we do like wooden journals.
Oh, wow, that's right.
There we go.
Wow. So you have a pretty broad selection of stuff, and I'm not going overboard. Thank you. I just
not at all.
That sense of validation.
There's a reason why we have a 20 by 20 tent when we can get away with it. But like when we do have to pack down to a 8-foot table space, it gets interesting. We've done it. We've done it a few times, But there are pictures on our Facebook where you can see the different setups, because I like to take pictures for both us and to kind of show off the place. And you can see we took this entire 20 by 20 tent and condensed it down to one table by using tiered shelves so that things had their own shelf, putting out just a sampling of each thing and being like, we have more behind the counter if you want to see some extra, you know.
Exactly.
But there's ways, you just got to kind of make sure that each individual thing has its spot so that people can see it. Otherwise, it gets lost in the ocean of stuff.
Interesting.
So essentially, when we put stuff on tables, we'll actually take a step back. And if I'm like, I don't see that thing, where's that thing? I got to move things around now to make that thing stand out better. Because I know everything I put on the table, but if I can't see it at a glance walking by, another person who doesn't know what's there won't see it.
Okay, that's good. When I'm painting stuff, it's the squint test to see like what pops, what looks wonky.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, okay, that's the section that needs work. It sounds like it's the same kind of thing.
Very similar. Yep. You got to take that step back and give yourself a different perspective so that you can see it from the customer's point of view, not from the seller's point of view.
Dang, girl. I like what you got going on.
Part of the videos that I like to take showing everything also helps me see it from another perspective, because now I'm seeing it from the guy walking into the tent or the girl walking into the tent, and not from myself who put it all together.
Right. I gotta say, you have been super duper freaking insightful. Do you have any awesome stuff that you want to share before we wrap up tonight?
I guess, again, we've got a lot of events coming up. Sparta for the next 3 weeks. We have Lakewood Lions. No, sorry, not Lions anymore. Just Lakewood Renaissance Fair, run by a whole new group of awesome people who are amazing, and they're trying.
Where's Lakewood?
In New Jersey.
Okay.
I don't know where in New Jersey. It's like middle, not quite north, not quite south, somewhere middle-ish. Central Jersey exists. We've got the Delaware Renaissance Fair coming up in October and November, which we'll be at. And I currently have a backer kit going on for my dragons that you can find out through our Facebook page. I've been posting a lot of updates about that. We did hit our goal, but if we can go higher than our goal, even better, because then I can afford another 3D printer and we can get cooking even more. I've got some more designs in my head that I've been wanting to sculpt out on the program that it's getting there. It's getting there. I just got to get the time to sit down and just hyper focus into it, because I'm not a work on it a little bit at a time type of person. I'm a spend 12 hours on the project at a time type of person. But yeah, we've got a lot of things constantly going on. Yeah. Who needs to do that?
Do you have the link to the Kickstarter that we can paste into, or I can see if I can look it up? I'll let you look it up. I'll go ahead and let you cut and paste it into the chat, but you are welcome. See, Evelyn Evermore, this is one of the things, again, and I have said this so many times about Nat 21 Adventures and our fans, because one, you guys are freaking awesome. So two, enablers. Go ahead. Oh, there it is.
I posted it in the private because I can't access the other one because I forgot my YouTube password.
That's exactly what I wanted. That is exactly what I wanted. Yay. So that I could put it here. Boop, 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 ba-doop. Oh no, I haven't yet, Victoria Lenfog, but because it's hard to look at stuff when I am running the show. So there is the link, link to the backer kit for it's the Heartfire Hatchery Dragon Conservation Program. I love that. I love it. So yes, and I was just saying, Evelyn, and London and everybody, the fans that we have are so creative and inspire us to create things and make more things. Like Victoria Lenfog's got some idea, and I cannot friggin' wait to see it. But it's like helps us to create more. I thrive on commissions. I don't know. How about you?
We try to do commissions. We don't get as many as we would like to, but I do have one that I'm really excited about. Someone wanted me to personally paint a Mohawk mimic for them. So I'm like, nope, we're going to do this as soon as I get the chance to next week, because this week didn't happen. But
it is a little different when you have a production run that she has to maintain for a busy show schedule.
Especially with last week being a Monday. We had a show Saturday through Monday, and now we have to go set up on Friday. So we really only had 3 days to recoup all of our product for the next week. So
how long? And I know I've got more thoughts here. How long does it take you to set up a day?
Last time I think it was like 4 to 5 hours to set up and 3 hours to break down.
That's actually not bad.
We've got a system. Banker boxes are our best friend. We have them all labeled with what goes into it. So the box comes to me, I pull it off the table, shove it in, shove it back in the trailer, and keep going from there.
Yeah, that's like me with my pack ups. Yeah. But it takes more because it's not just, there was like decorating that I do.
Yeah, Jesse and I kind of tag team everything, and then most of our decorations are like the cabinets that he's made that things go on. So once it comes off the cabinet, it goes underneath the cabinet, and the cabinet goes in the trailer. So it all kind of, we want to make it streamlined so it goes together and just kind of pieces itself into a giant Tetris of boxes and cabinets.
Exactly. I'm very lucky, and I don't know if he's still online, but Magnus is a professional stagehand, so very professional.
There you go.
But I gotta like shout out to the amazing Kara Chappell, who gave me one of my latest commissions, was the Hobbits for Harris button. And I hooked her up with that, sent it to her for Dragon Con, and she gave one to our favorite Hobbit, Elijah Wood.
Amazing.
And she sent me the picture. And I was headed out for the night, and I was like, oh,
that's cool.
You guys are so awesome. And he does. His smile is so cute. You guys are awesome. Makes me happy too.
Aw, so cool.
So, anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and mega thank you to the amazing Amy from 3D2U for joining me tonight and just sharing some of that amazing insight of vending. So it's like making is part of it, and we can all just keep making, but I'm running out of room. I got to get rid of something.
That's kind of why we started getting into this business, was we started running out of room and went, you know what, we kind of got to start selling some stuff. And it just kind of exploded from there. Like, I've got a whole ass master's degree in forensic science, and I am teaching part-time and vending full-time. So
wow. How long have you been vending?
About 3 going on 4 years now.
Wow, that is a good long run.
Yep, we're hitting the part where the IRS says we should start making money in the next year, which will be nice. No, we've been making decent money, but it's like, when we'll actually turn a profit, not have credit card debt from having to buy all of the supplies, and actually start to be able to fund itself fully instead of taking from some savings to get it funded. They say about 5 years is when you start to actually make profit as a small business. So we're doing pretty good.
I was just thinking the same thing, Victoria London Fog. I have heard myths and legends of how horrifying your master's degree has come in for the forensic science on Gothic horror. I don't even know if I would be in that game, because I'd be like, what? Don't tell me these things.
Oh my gosh. No, I've had a few times where people have asked me questions like, okay, as someone who has a degree in forensic science, how would this work? And I'm like, all right, this is going to be a long discussion. You open a can of worms. Let's go.
I know. I'm like, oh God, there are some things that a human brain should not know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our sign. That's our signal. You've got to finish getting ready for the show. So thank you so much for taking an hour out of your night to away from gluing. I should have had you be gluing while we were doing this. But
I got to wait for some hinges to dry before I could do the next part anyway. So we timed it just right.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome getting to speak and just hang out with you, because like we don't get to do that. So this was great.
I know. It's like we have 5 minutes or whatever before the show, or 10 minutes before the show, and then the chaos. And so thank you guys so much for joining us. We have our regular schedule, which you know what it is, but let's talk a little bit, touch real quick on the rotating Thursday. We summer sampler of Thursday. So this week was the Mab Labs, and next week I'm like, what? Mab Labs.
Like,
next week is the In Between, which is our floating in between worlds, where you can meet any of the characters from any of our Nat 21 adventures. And I have an inside scoop that there may or may not be a Varus, the Destroyer, approaching the inn, looking for the inn. I heard he was looking for the inn because some smartass orc druid plane shifted his ass away before he got to smite everybody. So we'll see what happens with this month's In Between. Yes, Kara, that was my thought. And I was like, I worked too hard on that inn. So we're going to see what goes on. And there may or may not be a battle sloth assassin, a ninja sloth assassin in the scene, seeking revenge. Thank you, Evelyn. So, and then the third Thursday of the month, I believe, is the Patreon Saints game that we run for our Patreon Saints, which we are going back into the underworld. And then the week after that, that's right, this is a month with 4 Thursdays, not like last month, which was 5 Thursdays. The week after that, on the 26th, is going to be the Tarot Talk with Ansa. So yes, all these great shows, and then our regular schedule. Oh, that's right, Evelyn. Yay. Love the check, hate the destroyer. You guys are adorable. We won't talk about how gaslighting everything is. So yep, plenty of shows. And so tomorrow, it's Thursday, so it's the end of our week. Plenty of run fairs to go check out around town. What's the fair you're hitting this weekend?
Sparta, New Jersey.
Sparta, New Jersey.
Yep, and it's a cute little fair in the middle of the woods up in North Jersey, Sparta.
Oh, yeah. That does sound adorable. And then next week, we'll be back on Monday with Lady Prudence and the amazing modern music with Lady Prudence. And then, here it is. I was looking for that. And then Tuesday morning, Shakespeare with Sonnets with Shakespeare. That show has moved to Tuesday morning. And then 8 p.m., we're back at the Curse of the Feywild. Wednesday, regular Crafting with the Crew show. 9 p.m., Gothic Horror Gaming. Thursday morning, Flash Phantasmagoria with Handler Z. And then 8 p.m. show of the week. That's the deal. You know it. You love it. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. It was a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys later. All right, I found the click. Click.